My biggest mistake during my high school career was being so arrogant that I forgot that I represented the LA Unified School District. And it cost me. I got suspended several times for that attitude, you know. But I accepted my punishment, and the people that put me on suspension brought me right back because they knew my character. I was one of them coaches that just get all up in your face and got something to say. I still will do it in the gym, but when I'm in the public, I try not to be like that. And I think that's what turned a lot of people off. Probably cost me some jobs for being too aggressive. Not going for the, I guess I could use the word okey doke. You had to come at me straight. Parents couldn't talk to me any kind of way. I've gotten into it with parents to the point to where they want to fight. And I was ready to fight because I knew I was doing the best I could. And then it was usually a parent who never participated in anything. All they were concerned about is their kid. I have to be concerned about a whole program, not just one kid. But I loved them all, but I was just one of them guys. So that probably would be misrepresenting the entity that I was supposed to represent.
Better play some basketball. I'm not playing with y'all. How you gonna miss layups? We talked about that.
I've calmed down a lot. A lot of my ex-players, they say, Tiny is the soft version now. He's soft.
I tell all the kids, y'all got it easy, boy. Y'all got the easy Tiny, let me tell you. He used to get up 2 feet. It's bad. You know he's gonna start yelling.
And I have softened up a little bit, not a whole lot.
But yeah, they got it easy now.
Tiny was just like me. We came up in the streets also. So when you come up in the streets, you have certain relationships. Tiny would go and pick that kid up, and bring that kid to the park, or drop that kid off, or take that kid home for a minute, and then take him home, and that's part of coaching. You come up in the streets, you have certain relationships. And within those relationships, they also know that, hey, you were an athlete, and you were an athlete with me, but you chose to do this. And Tiny had those relationships, and he would talk to them and let them say, hey, I need him to be able to leave home, come and play ball for me, and he's not interested in doing what you're doing. And think about it if that was your kid or your brother. And Tiny's impact on that was great. And as we all know, you can't save them all. But you do what you can. And 15 to 20 kids, a league that Tiny was able to handle, he always did a great job with them. And they stayed off the streets, and they were here for athletics. And their parents were very happy for that. He did a great job with that. And that's what you do as a youth coach. You know, you're trying to get these kids involved in something besides those streets. And as I say, he was right there with it.
The biggest impact Tiny has had on me is love. Even to this day, he keeps track of the things that I do professionally in my career. And that's saying a lot because I'm one of 1,000 players that he's had. When I call, he answers my call. When we speak, he expresses the pride that he has in the person that I am. And so, like a parent, the relationship is built on honesty, but it's built on high expectation, built with positive interactions, and a willingness to tell you, job well done.
I didn't mind you going to the basket, but you didn't even take a good shot.
The fact that I know that being attached to him comes with an expectation from the outside world. When people know that you are, because we will forever be K&E Bulls, a K&E Bull, when they know you come from history, there's an expectation. And I refuse to be a person who lets his legacy fall because of my lack of execution. And so all of my successes in the sport are directly attributable to his impact on our lives as his players, to my life directly, and the opportunity he gave me as a 15-year-old kid to coach, and what he saw in me that has now blossomed into a coach who I believe is reasonably successful and still has a lot to give, because he's still giving a lot.
So I'm walking at Rancho. I love Rancho. I'm always at Rancho. I'm watching a baseball game. Reggie Moore's son is playing baseball, and he sees me. He said, "Come here, young man. Would you like to coach men?" I said, "How much you pay, coach?" At that time, it was $6,000. I already had a job, but $6,000 more was gonna help me with 3 children. You know what I mean? And so I took the job. Not only took the job, but I didn't know I was gonna be driving the van, taking kids home back and forth from the school, you know. A whole lot came with that, you know. But it was a great experience. My first experience of coaching at the junior college level. Reggie Morris gave me that opportunity. You know, not only them, and then my next mentor was Joe Weekly. I took the JV job when he left to go coach at the JC level. And lo and behold, I get to coach with him in junior college as well. I get to coach with him. He got suspended and lost the job at Southwest. Guess who came back to Southwest? Because Reggie Morris had left, and he came back to Southwest. And I was like, oh my God, you know, my guy, that's my guy. And so my mentors were just great people, you know. And then I got a chance to coach at West LA Junior College under Charlie Sands. One thing I learned from Coach Charlie Sands was how to do an itinerary. This man would do a practice minute by minute. I didn't particularly like doing it like that, but when I coached with him, because I'm the guy, if you didn't know something, we might work on it all day. And the next day, and the next day after that till you get it. But he was 5 minutes this, 15 minutes that, 7 minutes that. He ran a camp called Snow Valley Camp. And I know some people that knew Charlie Sands in Japan, all over place. He ran it everywhere. So what I did, I made it my job to, when I was coaching with a coach, to try to learn as much as I can from that coach. I think anybody you come in contact with, you're supposed to learn something. And if you don't, it's a waste of time.
I think Tiny's reason for wanting to come to the Drew League is that he's accomplished quite a bit when it comes down to youth basketball. Won many titles, got many players in the school and the college. But as those kids got older and graduated from college and everything, he decided to bring them back, and he wanted to test them and bring them over to the Drew to see how they did. So from his son Eric and JR and all these guys, they were on his team, and it was pretty good to watch how he interacted with his sons when it came to winning basketball games. So, but I think he wanted to come to Drew and bring an adult team just to see how he could do with that. And I think that's his reason for coming to Drew.
Coleman walks him down, going up, going in.
You know, the Drew League, we have a Legends Corner. And this Legends Corner has been going on now for about 30 years now, where these players who no longer play, or coaches who no longer coach, but they get in the corner and they just dissect the game and talk about the players and the teams and what they can do and what they can't do. So to be a legend and to be in there, you have to have accomplished something. And Tiny has accomplished Coach of the Year, Community Person of the Year, and he's been on numerous all-star coaching staffs. So that's how he qualified to get into the Legends Corner, and he doesn't disappoint over there.
I got the opportunity to coach in China through one of my mentors, Coach Joe Weekly. Joe Weekly had a chance to be the player personnel director for a league called the CMBA, Chinese Men's Basketball League. And at that time, I think the salary was $5,000 a month. That got my attention. So we had a tryout at Jim Gilliam Rec Center here in LA. We got to look at a lot of the local talent, try it out. We took quite a few players to China when we went, and everybody went to their own city. I went to my city, which was in Changchun. That was the name of the city, and they had a team called Dongbeihu. That's the Jinlin Tigers. I had a chance to coach with the Chinese coach was Coach Lee. He was the Chinese coach. Every American coach was with a Chinese coach. And I had a chance to go do that. That was from a kid from Fort Smith, Arkansas, South Central, to get a chance to coach in China. That was major. I can remember at that time, the airports, you could go upstairs and watch the planes take off. My whole family is looking at me get on this plane. I could see them. I think I cried until I couldn't see them no more, because I had never left my family. And going to China, that was the longest flight I ever been on in my life, 17 hours. And then I got to Korea. We had a layover in Korea. I'm the only black man in the airport with soldiers walking around with M16s, constantly asking me for my passport to see what I was doing in Korea. And I was like, man, I was intimidated, really, really intimidated. And they would see basketball. You got this little short black man talking about basketball. And they all giants over there, they 7 feet tall. And now we had to go ride a train to our city. And my city was like an 8-hour train ride from Beijing. So I got to Changchun, and Changchun was a city that was known for basketball. I thought I was going over there to coach a bunch of little guys. When I got to my team, I had 2 7-footers on my team. 6'8", 6'9". I'm like, whoa. But I had good people. I had an interpreter. I learned how to speak a few languages. I mean, because the dialect was different depending on where you worked. But it was a great experience for a South Central kid to get a chance to go to China, make a little money. I really was mad when it folded. It was a good experience. The reason I do what I do is because God is allowing me to be a tool to help His children. These are God's children that I'm dealing with every day. They're not my children. And I think that if I didn't have the love of God in me, it would be impossible for me to love them. And I thank the Lord every day. Situation, prosthetic legs, still getting around, nothing stopping me. Have some other things going on inside of me physically. But He gives me the power, the strength to continue my journey with these children. I give Him all the glory and all the honor. It goes to God to do something for His children. It's a service. That's what we were born to do, to serve.